girls drop, and then we know that yes, okay.
All right.
Business Express. Brought to you by
Ready?
InterSwitch. Transaction solutions you can depend on.
Well, check your time. It is 6:31. You're live on Smooth 98.1. Love music, love life, and it's time for us to talk business with this man, Rotus. Good
Hey,
morning, dude.
good morning, Valentine. Good morning, everybody out there.
How you doing, bro?
I'm fine. I'm fine. It's a Monday, Money Monday. Let's
Let's
get it
crack this
going.
on.
Yeah.
WhatsApp is 0809 444 On Twitter, we're at Smooth981FM. Use that hashtag Business Express 981.
And you can call in. Yes, you can actually call. So today,
That's
I
right.
want you guys, we'll just take one call towards the end of the show. Somebody has to tell me what exchange rates they expect the Naira to be trading at. Just call in and give me your exchange rate. So let me tell you why we're even talking about that. The central bank on, was it Friday or Thursday, adjusted the exchange rate. All of us got excited. We're like, ooh, is it finally a uniform rate? Because you know the World Bank has been pushing the Central Bank of Nigeria, Ministry of Finance, everybody said, like, look, you need to unify these rates before we give you the $1.5 billion that you're looking for. So they've been pushing them to do it, and the central bank governor got in. He's a man of his word. He's been following through on that, said that they actually will move to unify the rates. So the news dropped, was it not even on Saturday? It was Friday, Saturday, and but it was at one of the windows. That was the little caveat there. This is the SMIS window, secondary market intervention sales window. This window is for importers importers who use letters of credit and the Form M to get forex for importing raw materials that they need. So usually when you approach the central bank at this window, there's a floor, and the floor initially was 360. In fact, before that it was 306 or 305. Now it's 360. Then now this most recent bidding process that took place, central bank said, hey, if you're approaching this window, the floor is now 380. So they've moved it up. But again, it is for just one window. What we need, what the market wants to see and hear, is across the board. Across the board. That's what we want to see. We want to hear one announcement or one rate across the board. Now the I&E window, the investors and exporters window, which is as close as you can get to a market determined rate, is trading at 388 or so, 388, 389. But you got all these other different windows. So whether you are the SMIS window, whether you are paying for foreign exchange, paying for school fees overseas for your children, whether you're getting personal travel allowance or business travel allowance, whether you are using medical tourism, whatever it is, we just want one announcement from the central bank that says, hey, market determined rates as close to NAFEX as possible for everybody. And then you're going to see, now, of course, costs will go up, right? We start with the power sector. Gas is paid for in dollars, right? When that now trickles down all the way to the end users, you and I, that should see tariffs go up, because the foreign exchange element is very much at play in what we pay for power. You'll see the change at the pump. Last week we were talking about the price being moved up to 140, but NNPC is the sole importer of fuel, and so if oil marketers are now allowed to, if we have one rate for everybody, regardless of where you are in Nigeria, one rate, oil marketers can now go back to bring in fuel. It will increase pump price of fuel because you have to account for the foreign exchange dynamic, what it is they pay to bring fuel into the country, and which now translates over to the pump price. So that cross-border payments, remittances are very important. It leads to billions that come in. There will be more transparency into, okay, I'm sending money to Nigeria. This is the one rate that I know it's going to be going in at. Foreign direct investment, what have you. Everything is just clean, clear, transparent. So, kudos to the central bank for, moving this rate. But We want to see uniform across the board. So if you have, I'll send in a WhatsApp, and then maybe we'll take a call as well. Let me know what rates you should be trading at. What else has been going on? The Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, she was at a webinar, or rather, she was represented at a webinar. It was organized by NESG, the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, and well, this title is a mouthful. It's the Fiscal Policy Roundtable and Tax Investment and Competitiveness Policy Commission. That's the name of the roundtable. No, one more time. Yeah, one more time.
Yeah.
The Fiscal Policy Roundtable and Tax Investment and Competitiveness Policy Commission. That was.
Who comes up with this kind of
I don't even know. Anyway, PwC was part of it because PwC is a kind of a policy partner to the federal government of Nigeria. So at the webinar, she was represented by Mrs. Sarah Alade, who is the special advisor to President Buhari on finance and the economy. And what Mrs. Sarah Alade said on behalf of the Minister of Finance was that Nigeria cannot stop worrying. She has to continue because of the twin headwinds of the COVID-19 and the drop in oil prices. She has to keep borrowing. Essentially, they're just going to do their best to broaden the revenue base of the country, and they're also going to do their best to reduce expenditure. But as things stand now, we have no choice. And you know what? Honestly, I don't blame her. I think our debt now, total debt is what, 24, 25 trillion, about 30 or so billion dollars. So it's still rising. I think it's going to rise again with more borrowing. So, it's up there. And remember, first quarter of this year, Nigeria spent 99% of our revenues on debt service. So we brought in 950 billion. We spent about 940 billion servicing debt. That's paying interest. So yeah, that's high. That's high. It's not sustainable. You've got to bring in more money. On personal finance, I tell, in fact, you guys, personal finance every Wednesday, 5:15, I alternate with Nimi Akinkube. Tell people all the time, you have to find a way to make more cash. You have to bring in more money. There's just no other way to look at this. You get less sleep, more hustle, more money. Nigeria has to sleep less, hustle more, and find more cash.
Story of my life. We're owing more almost as much money as Bill Gates. It's Bill Gates' net worth.
Okay. No, Bill Gates is 80 something billion now. So we're at 30.
Up to 80.
Yeah, he's at
we're
80.
getting close.
Bill, what's this man?
level.
Jeff Bezos is 142 or 143 or so. So we're up there, but we need to be bringing in a whole lot more money than we're doing right now. And you've got to liberate some sectors. You got to allow the private sector to take over. Let go of the airports. I don't know who buy those refineries. Let go of the refineries. Sell off some assets. Privatize, and reduce personnel costs. There's a lot of work. We talk about this all the time. What else is happening? Fidelity Bank, they've announced some board changes. They did this Saturday. They announced that that Mr. Ernest Ebi, chairman of the board, he's stepping down August the 14th. He's completed his term. Mr. Seni Adetu, who is the independent non-executive director, he completed his term June 13th. And the new chairman of the board is none other than Mr. Mustafa Chikeobi, who was the former CEO of AMCON. He was the first CEO of AMCON, the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria. What's Mr. Chikeobi doing right now? Yeah, he's the executive vice chair of Alpha Africa Advisory. So he's got 40 plus years of experience in investment banking and financial services. So he takes over as of August the 14th at Fidelity Bank as their new chairman of the board. What else is happening? Oh, I found this to be very interesting. So Mo Abodu, unfortunately, this can't wait until Tech Friday because Friday is too far away. So she made this announcement. This was last night. A lot of stuff happened over the weekend. She said that Ebony Live TV is exiting DSTV as of July the 31st. So essentially, yeah, she said that look, the way content is accessed now. I think she did this on her Instagram. Yeah, that's the way content is accessed. Things are changing, and that July 31st they're exiting DSTV. What is going to happen is that whatever content they have is not going to be available on their app. Some of their content is already available on Netflix. But here's the interesting thing: the price points. She announced on price points. She said it's 500 naira for if you're in Nigeria, $2.99 if you are overseas. Now I looked at those prices. I was like, wait, so hold on. If you convert, even we just talked about exchange. See, this is the issue now. Anytime you mention dollars, what rates do what rates do you exchange at? You know, it's just so. This is why we need one rate. Let's get one rate and just move on with life. But if you do 380, that $2.99 is at least $1,000. Excuse me, 1,000 naira, right? Even at 360, it's still double the 500 naira that's being offered. So what this looks like is that they're going below cost in order to try to increase market share or entice more people to subscribe onto their platform.
So they're subsidizing it for Nigeria.
Exactly, yeah, they are subsidizing it, but the problem with subsidizing,
for her?
and it's not. So that's the thing. When you so it's almost like this is almost like an OPay strategy. Remember, OPay came in with the ride sharing and all that stuff. They were offering like steep discount in order to ramp up customer market share and so on and so forth. But it comes at a cost. The thing is, I've talked a lot about transparency in our entertainment sector. Netflix, you know how much Netflix pays for their content producing. It's billions, right? On an annual basis. Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Hulu, all those guys. But then they're all publicly traded companies, so they have to disclose this stuff to the investment public and their shareholders. Ebony Live is a private company, so they don't have to tell us anything. However, it would be nice to know how much they spend on content, and it would be nice to know what they're, because you're burning cash if you're subsidizing this thing.
It would be nice to know how much you're saving by this move by pulling out of DSTV.
Well,
you never know the kind of TV rights costs.
So of course you have to pay. You have to pay to be on that platform. But then it gives you. I suspect. I'm shooting dice here. I suspect that it's maybe it's lower advertising revenue, or they did some numbers and said they can probably strike out on their own, and they think they'll make it. But the price point for that cost, because how much is Netflix? Netflix is like 2,000, 3,000 naira a month if you're doing Netflix or this other thing. So, we'll see how that goes for them. We got messages.
Yes, we do. Benga Kamon says we gather the state and federal government owe 4.1 trillion what with Lagos and Rivers having the highest debts. Can we have an audit of what was borrowed? What was the money borrowed for? Almost no impact of the money.
That's the issue with borrowing.
Apparently, the information ministry is still on the table of breaking the DSTV monopoly. It's the way and the manner they want to achieve this that is problematic. That should be room for competition and not undue government interference. He said the problem of Ebony Live move is after paying for subscription, then I have to use data to watch the content.
That's standard now. Whoever you use, whether it's Netflix,
it's
whoever, you will use data on that. But then the thing is that you now have to add the cost of what you paid for it, plus the cost of using your data, and then compare that to the monthly cost of the alternatives, watching on television, cable television, and then see which one costs less. So.
This one from Inka says, morning Rotas, Val. So Rotas mentioned out some key issues earlier, such as gas being paid for in dollars, which I don't understand when we have abundance of gas in Nigeria. So rather than the National Assembly talking about subsidy for power, how about we have a dedicated gas project for the sole purpose of power? Price of fuel technically also depends on the dollars because we import fuel. So it's safe to say that if Uncle Dangote comes through, there will be sanity, right? Shows that fixing the country is not rocket science.
It's true. Yinka, the thing is, it costs a lot of money to pull gas out of the ground. That's why that the President Buhari just announced the Ajaokuta Kaduna Kano pipeline, which is supposed to be, the big $2 billion gas project that's supposed to run around the country. It's going to take years to develop. It is expensive. It is very expensive.
And it's part funded by the Chinese.
Yeah, partly funded by Chinese. Oil has been easier to do, but Nigeria is sitting on trillions of cubic feet of gas, so it's a matter of just getting in there, getting it out. So good point. We shouldn't have to pay.
That's right.
We shouldn't. Yeah, just do it.
Isaac says, good morning. This debt issue is scary. Cost of governance needs to be pruned. We have wastages up and down.
Facts, so Isaac. Facts.
Facts of life.
Facts.
The fact of the show is that it comes to an end.
Just like that. We didn't even get the phone call. Anyway, next time we'll do the phone call next time.
014489981.
Yes, indeed.
First.
Yes, indeed. Well, thanks, Val. Thank you. I guess we'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll see how things continue on the business side of things.
All right. Next up, we have Freshly Pressed 981 for the detailed analysis of our newspaper stories, and that comes up at 7:30. Stay with us here on Smooth
Business Express, brought to you.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Stay
Stay safe, man.